All right, so are you ready to jump into the world of Pega?
Always ready for a deep dive.
Perfect. Today we're going to be tackling some practice questions for the Pega PDC24V1 exam, the one you need to conquer to become a certified Pega Pro.
Ah, yes, 60 questions, 90 minutes. Got to get that 70% passing score.
That's right. So to help you get there, we've got 10 practice questions and answers lined up. Ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, we've got a question about the Application Explorer in Pega. It asks about its primary function.
Yeah, okay.
Is it A, to display application structure and dependencies, B, to manage user authentication settings, or C, to monitor database queries? What do you think?
Well, when I think about what it means to explore an application, it makes me think about wanting to see how everything is connected, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'd say option A, displaying the application structure and dependencies, that seems like the most logical primary function.
Right, it's like a roadmap for your Pega project.
Exactly.
Okay, so question 2 throws us into the world of requirements.
Oh, requirements.
Always a fun one.
Uh-huh.
It asks which Pega feature makes sure that what you actually need gets translated into what you build.
Yeah, that's important.
The options are A, Pega Agile Studio, B, Direct Capture of Objectives, or DCO, or C Case Designer. Any ideas?
This is where I think DCO really shines.
Oh, how so?
You know how sometimes in development, you have these situations where what gets built is totally different from what anyone actually wanted.
Oh, yeah, definitely been there.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
DCO helps avoid that by bringing the business folks and the developers together right from the start. Make sure everyone's on the same page.
Right, that communication is key. So DCO is our winner for this one. Moving on to question 3, and this time we're dealing with obsolete rules.
Spring cleaning time.
Exactly. So the question is, which tool helps you find and manage all those dusty old rules that might be clogging up your application?
Ooh, good question.
Our options are A, Unused Rules Analyzer, B, Rule Audit Tool, or C, Rules Inspector.
If we're talking about tidying up and seeing what's still relevant, I'd lean towards the rules inspector.
Option C.
Yeah, it gives you a clear picture of which rules are actually being used and which ones are just gathering dust.
Love it. Okay, question 4 is all about the importance of guardrails in Pega development.
Guardrails. Those are important.
They are. So the question is asking, what do they do? Are they A, defining UI component styling, B, enforcing best practices and maintaining application quality, or C, managing data encryption policies?
I think of guardrails as those helpful guidelines or best practices that are built right into Pega.
I say like built-in guidance.
Exactly. They help you keep things consistent, maintain quality, and avoid those common pitfalls you can run into during development.
Oh, so it's almost like having a virtual coding buddy looking over your shoulder, making sure you're on the right track.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So option B, enforcing best practices and maintaining application quality, that's our answer for question 4. On to question 5. This one asks, which reporting tool in Pega helps you understand how all those different rules are connected and what might happen if you make a change to one of them?
Ooh, understanding those dependencies is crucial.
Absolutely. The options are A, Application Document Wizard, B, Dependency Viewer, or C, Performance Profiler.
Well, if you're looking to see those connections between rules and understand the potential consequences of your changes, the dependency viewer is the way to go.
Yeah, wouldn't want to trigger any unexpected chain reactions.
Exactly. The dependency viewer lets you see all those links so you can avoid any nasty surprises down the line.
Awesome. So option B it is. Okay, this is a big one. It asks, what determines the order in which your rules actually spring into action in Pega?
The order of operations. Always important.
So true. Is it a rule set versioning, B, rule set stack, or C, case type hierarchy?
Okay, so imagine a stack of books, right? Each book represents a rule set.
Okay, I'm visualizing it.
Pega goes through those books, from top to bottom, executing the rules in that order.
So it's all about the position in the stack.
Exactly. That's why it's called the rule set stack.
Makes perfect sense. So that makes option B our answer. Now, question 7 asks, what's not a part of Pega's Agile project methodology?
All right, let's see.
The choices are A, planning, B, development, or C, execution.
Well, every project needs execution, right? But when you think about Pega's Agile methodology, it's all about those repeating cycles of planning, development, and testing.
Right, those smaller iterative chunks.
Exactly. So execution, while important, isn't specifically part of the core Agile methodology in Pega.
Okay, so option C is the odd one out. Moving on to question 8. This one's about the main job of the rule set validation tool. What do you think it's for?
Rule set validation, may think.
Is it A, to detect rule inconsistencies and conflicts, B, to validate data entry in forms, or C, to manage rule-based access control?
I'd say it's all about making sure your rules are playing nicely together, you know?
Like making sure they get along.
Yeah. It's designed to catch any potential conflicts or inconsistencies before they cause trouble in your application.
So a preventative measure.
Exactly. Think of it as a way to proactively prevent headaches during development and testing.
Nobody wants those headaches. All right, so question 9 throws us into the world of testing. It asks which tool allows Pega developers to test those users' scenarios without having to do everything manually.
Gotta love automation.
Right, so is it A, scenario testing, B, debugger console, or C, application profiler?
For testing out those user interactions, scenario testing is your friend.
Oh, tell me more.
You can set up different scenarios, like someone applying for a loan or updating their profile, and Pega automatically runs through the steps and checks if everything's working as expected.
So you can essentially simulate those real-world user interactions.
Exactly. And that saves you a ton of time and makes your testing much more thorough.
Awesome. Option A it is. And finally, question 10. This one asks how circumstancing allows those Pega rules to adapt to different situations.
Circumstancing, one of my favorite Pega features.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So is it A, by modifying rule execution based on things like time or user profile? B, by merging duplicate rules to speed things up? Or C, by turning rule logic into reusable components?
Circumstancing is all about adding those if this then that conditions to your rules.
Okay, I'm starting to see how that works.
Yeah, you can tailor how your application behaves depending on different factors. Like, you could have a rule that works differently based on the time of day, the user's location, or even their past actions.
So it's all about making those rules more dynamic and responsive.
Exactly.
That makes option A the correct answer for this one. So we've covered a lot in this first set of questions. We have explored application structure, delved into how rules work, and even looked at some testing tools.
It's amazing how all these pieces start to connect.
I know, right? It's all starting to come together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning. Remember, these individual pieces are important, but it's how they all come together that makes Pega so powerful.
So true. And as you continue your Pega journey, keep exploring, keep learning. There's always something new to discover with this platform.
That's right. Never stop learning.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you found our deep dive informative and helpful. Good luck on your Pega journey, and best of luck on that Pega PDC24V1 exam.